What I kind of wanted to talk about, right, and it's a super interesting thought I've been kind of playing around with lately, and it kind of stems from the final sequence slash exchange between Cloud and Sephiroth at the Edge of Creation, right, where Cloud attempts the Omni Slash on Sephiroth, and Sephiroth drops that cryptic 7 seconds until the end line. I think the direction they're going with Sephiroth, especially, and the line in specific that I'm really thinking about when I think about all this is when he goes, "Join me in defying destiny," right? Like, what could Sephiroth possibly want Cloud to join him for? Like, Sephiroth knows Cloud is going to turn down his offer to join him in defying destiny because Cloud is his enemy. Cloud knows that Sephiroth is up to no good and just wants to destroy the planet and win. My sort of theory on why he asks Cloud to join him, like what he's asking him to join him for, is not what you think. It's not so that Sephiroth can use him to win in the exact same way he did the original. No. I think, and this is going to sound like a very big stretch slash reach, but I personally think that this fourth unknown type Sephiroth who we encounter at the end of the game is Sephiroth having broken free of Jenova's control. Because if you think about it, the Sephiroth in the original Final Fantasy VII and every single other type of Sephiroth in this game you encounter is Sephiroth who is basically a conglomeration of Sephiroth's original body and the head that Jenova was, or I'm sorry, the head of Jenova that Sephiroth was carrying before he died, right, in his physical form when Cloud threw him into the Mako reactor in Nibelheim. Those two things merged, and Jenova was essentially in control. Well, Jenova wasn't in control, but a new sort of mind was formed that was equal parts Sephiroth, equal parts Jenova, which involved the will of Jenova to destroy the planet to absorb all that Mako and become stronger as a parasite to continue living, and the will of Sephiroth to destroy the planet in revenge for what the humans did to the Cetra years ago. So it's essentially a new entity. You don't see the real Sephiroth at all in the original game, or this one for that matter, outside of the Nibelheim flashback. From that point onwards, when Sephiroth returns, and the Sephiroth who is in the northern crater is a combination of Jenova's head and Sephiroth's physical body having merged within the live stream and Sephiroth's mind potentially to create a new entity who calls itself Sephiroth, but is really just something called Genovaroth, right? And again, that's all credit to that Reddit post which I got that name from and fact from, that they've essentially merged. And so my theory is that this Sephiroth you encounter at the end of FF7 Remake at Destiny's Crossroads is a Sephiroth who is the actual OG original Sephiroth from the Nibelheim sequence. The Sephiroth who was a human, like, and the Sephiroth before he died, essentially, and combined with Jenova's head. The Sephiroth who is not the Genovaroth. Exactly. My thoughts are it's the OG Sephiroth who's free of Jenova's will, and he's asking Cloud at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake at the Edge of Creation to join him in stopping Jenova. That's my theory. Do I think it'll happen on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being highly unlikely and 1 being very likely? I'd probably put that around a 5, like absolute hard 50% of that happening. But in terms of, do I think it's a cool theory? Absolutely, 10 out of 10 theory, even though it's my own, because it sounds so cool. Can you imagine, right? Okay, imagine this. Cloud, Sephiroth, and Zack from the alternate timeline have to team up to destroy Jenova once and for all. Because Jenova, if you think about it, is the ultimate villain of Final Fantasy VII. It's not even Sephiroth. She's the cause of all suffering that the planet has endured, right? That everyone on the planet has endured in some way, is because of Jenova. And so it would be really cool, in my opinion, for there to be a moment in this series of remakes and for them to go in this direction of Cloud and Sephiroth put aside their differences. It turns out this Sephiroth Type 4 from the Ultimania, the unknown type Sephiroth, is the OG Sephiroth before he died in Nibelheim, right before Cloud throws him into the Mako reactor, and that he is once again free of Jenova's control and influence, and he wants to get back at her for all the suffering he caused upon him for many years, upon his mind for many years. And so imagine how incredibly awesome it would be, at least from my point of view, if Zack, Cloud, and Sephiroth all teamed up together to take on Jenova once and for all and destroy this cosmic calamity entity monstrosity once and for all. I think that would be freaking epic, right? I think that would be really, really cool. But like I said, I I don't know if it'll, I don't think it'll happen. I think it would be really cool if it happened, but I don't think it will happen. Let's go from a 50% to a 40%. Because I would like to, I would like to see there be something other than the usual Sephiroth is the bad guy yet again shtick. You know? I like that they're setting him up to be a bad guy, like you've seen him in the rest of the compilation and FF7 media. But if you truly want to make this remake fucking crazy groundbreaking and treading new territory that we've not seen before in Final Fantasy VII, it's make Sephiroth and Cloud team up for once, right? But I don't know. I could be talking crazy. I probably sound like a crazy person right now. So yeah, that said, we're gonna end the stream. That's enough crazy talk.